Welcome back to the Schlocky Horror Picture Show and the second half of Voodoo Dawn, which by now you've discovered is more like an old-fashioned Living Dead romp in the mode of White Zombie, or I Walked with a Zombie, or I Had a Picnic with a Zombie. 6'5" Tony Todd plays the diabolical, machete-wielding voodoo priest busily turning migrant farm workers into flesh-eating, living dead slaves. You might remember him as Candyman in the 90s, or from Star Trek Deep South Nine, or from any of his other 150 film and TV appearances. More recently, he could be spotted in some of the scariest films of the last decade: the Final Destination franchise, the Hatchet franchise, The Graves, Them, Splatter, Minotaur, Dark Assassin, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and, scariest of all, Pokemon. Despite this, Tony is a very experienced stage actor and was personally chosen by George Romero to star in the first remake of Night of the Living Dead, so he's used to fake blood. He practically revels in it. Gina Gershon tries hard to be a spirited romantic interest, but as a migrant field worker, she's about as convincing as Eva Gabor in Green Acres. Before Voodoo Dawn, Gina appeared as minor characters in Pretty in Pink, Cocktail and the new Twilight Zone. Since then, she could be spotted in over 100 films from Showgirls to Face Off, and in TV shows including Melrose Place, Just Shoot Me, Curb Your Enthusiasm and Life on Mars. She's not so easy to spot in Family Guy or American Dad, or as Catwoman in the most recent adaptation of The Batman. Moody Madame Daslay is played by Theresa Merritt, who had only 26 minor roles, some of the more interesting titles being The Serpent and the Rainbow, All That Jazz, Billy Madison and The Wiz, the very first time Michael Jackson appeared as a fire hazard. Raymond Jacques puts in a commanding performance as Claude. This was the last film for the veteran actor and director whose many roles included Coffin Ed Johnson, the cop created by Chester Himes, or you might recognise him from The Pawnbroker, The Green Berets, Cotton Comes to Harlem, and too many other 60s films to list without becoming incredibly boring. One other actor worthy of note is Grant Albrecht, who plays Tony. Voodoo Dawn was his first film, and he seems to have spent the rest of his career trapped inside video games. He's voiced characters for Command & Conquer, The Battle for Dune, Call of Duty, Doom 3, EverQuest, Metal Gear Solid, Prince of Persia, Destroy All Humans, and about 50 other games gathering dust behind your television at home. Voodoo Dawn was the first and last feature to be directed by cinematographer Steven Fireberg, who shows discipline and restraint in a genre not known for either. He's better known for filming the TV show Entourage, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Secretary, Love and Other Drugs, Scenes from a Class Struggle in Beverly Hills, and his first film, Am I Normal?, a film about male puberty. Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. We should really get back to the movie now, but be sure to catch the blood-filled finale. I promise it'll make the previous 90 minutes worthwhile. Well, almost. That decision lays with you, good viewer, if you can make it to the end of Voodoo Dawn.